Hello and welcome to Fast and Factual. My name is Utsav Parekh and here are the top stories of the day. Ukraine has accepted a US proposal for an immediate 30-day ceasefire with Russia. The agreement followed 8 hours of talks in Saudi Arabia between Ukrainian and US officials. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio said that he will now take the offer to Moscow. Meanwhile, US President Donald Trump said he would speak to Russian President Vladimir Putin. The US is set to deploy over 600 additional troops to its border with Mexico. The Trump administration is ramping up measures to combat illegal immigration. The US Northern Command said that the new deployment will increase the number of border troops to around 9,600. The South Korean army held a joint air assault drill with the United States. The drill was part of the annual South Korea-US Freedom Shield exercise. The Freedom Shield exercise will last for 10 days. Meanwhile, North Korea condemned the exercise as a dangerous, provocative act. Iran's President Masoud Pezeshkian has reiterated that his country will not negotiate a nuclear deal under orders or threats. He added that US President Donald Trump could do whatever he wanted. This comes after Trump asked Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei to strike a deal or face military action. Hamas has confirmed that a fresh round of talks over the Gaza ceasefire have started in Qatar. Israel has also sent a team of negotiators. The talks are focused on extending the fragile ceasefire in Gaza. The first 42-day phase of the truce expired early this month. The Yemen-based Houthi rebels have said that they will resume their attacks on Israeli shipping. This comes after their 4-day deadline for the resumption of aid to Gaza ended today. Israel had blocked all aid going into Gaza a week ago. This was to pressure Hamas into releasing the remaining Israeli hostages. The government of Portuguese Prime Minister Luís Montenegro lost a confidence motion on Tuesday. This could push the country towards its third general election in barely 3 years. Lawmakers voted 142-88 in favor of toppling the centre-right government. The confidence motion was tabled by the Prime Minister after the opposition called for a parliamentary inquiry into his business dealings. Over 150 Pakistani passengers have been rescued after rebels hijacked a train in Balochistan yesterday. The locomotive carried at least 400 passengers. The Balochistan Liberation Army, or BLA, claimed responsibility for the attack. Pakistani forces have reportedly killed 27 BLA members. The attackers said that they have killed at least 30 security officials in a gunfight. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi congratulated Mauritius on its National Day. He's currently on a 2-day visit to the island nation and is attending celebrations there as the chief guest. Both India and Mauritius signed 8 agreements earlier today. Prime Minister Modi also held bilateral talks with his Mauritius counterpart, Naveen Chandra Ramagulam, yesterday. Student protesters blocked the building of public TV stations in Serbia's capital, Belgrade. The demonstrators accused the TV station of biased reporting and supporting the government. These protests are part of the ongoing anti-government demonstrations in Serbia. Demonstrations have continued in the country since the Novi Sad railway station roof collapse incident, which killed 15 people in November last year. Moving to climate news now, torrential rain in Spain on March 11th led to the swelling of rivers, prompting emergency responses. Residents in some areas witnessed river levels rising to heights unseen in years. Authorities attributed this surge to continuous rainfall and controlled water releases from reservoirs. The Spanish Weather Agency issued yellow rain alerts for parts of Catalonia and Andalusia. The Trump administration is reportedly reviewing the lease of a support office for Hawaii's Mauna Loa Observatory, a facility critical to global carbon dioxide monitoring since the year 1956. The move is part of cost-cutting efforts led by the U.S. Department of Government Efficiency under Elon Musk. Researchers fear that the decision may disrupt critical climate data collection. A new report from air quality monitoring firm IQ Air revealed that just 7 nations, Australia, New Zealand, the Bahamas, Barbados, Grenada, Estonia and Iceland, met WHO air quality guidelines last year. Meanwhile, Chad and Bangladesh ranked as the most polluted. The situation is worsened by the US government's recent shutdown of its global air quality monitoring program. A recent study highlights how climate change is intensifying extreme weather patterns in major cities worldwide. From Dallas to Shanghai, regions are experiencing abrupt shifts between droughts and floods. Cities like Madrid and Cairo have seen their climates completely flip in recent decades. This is heightening risks of water shortages, infrastructure damage, and disease outbreaks, particularly in regions with fragile water systems like Karachi and Khartoum. Rising temperatures in Lake Geneva, Western Europe's largest lake, are endangering its fish as oxygen levels deplete in the water's depths. According to experts, the lake is gradually warming, leading to stagnation. Researchers warn that reduced oxygen levels shrink the habitable space for aquatic life. Typically, winter temperatures help mix surface and deep waters, but with warming trends, this natural process is being disrupted. Now on to business and tech news. US President Donald Trump said that he will probably reduce the recently increased tariffs on Canada. This comes after Ontario suspended its electricity export surcharge. Defending his sweeping tariffs, Trump said that they were needed to get American jobs back and factories reopened. Trump bought a new red Tesla to back the company's CEO, Elon Musk. This comes as Musk faces massive backlash over his moves to cut US government costs. Tesla lost $125 billion in market capital after massive protests against the billionaire. The White House has announced a 25% tariff on steel and aluminium imports. The duty for Canada and other US trading partners will come into effect post-midnight today. The Trump administration said that there will be no exceptions. US stocks continued to plunge yesterday amid concerns over the impact of Trump's tariffs on the global economy. The S&P 500 index dropped 3.4% over the past 2 sessions, marking its largest drop since August last year. Meanwhile, Dow plunged by more than 1%. The decline added to the biggest sell-off in months. Goldman Sachs has lowered its 2025 end target for the S&P 500 index from 6,500 to 6,200. The current target is 10.6% higher than the index's last close of over 5,500. The group has attributed the change to policy uncertainty caused by the Trump administration's tariffs and economic growth outlook concerns. Boeing has reported a 63% rise in its February deliveries. The plane maker delivered 44 aircraft last month, as opposed to 27 in February last year. This comes as the company struggles to stabilize and increase the production of its 737 MAX and 787 models. Korean Air has launched a new aircraft livery and corporate branding. This is as the company combines with rival Asiana Airlines. Korean Air completed its $1.3 billion acquisition in December last year. Uber has closed its $950 million offer to take over Foodpanda's business in Taiwan. This is after the island authorities blocked the deal in December last year over anti-competitive concerns. Taiwan's watchdog said that the buyout would increase the combined market share to 90%, and this could incentivize Uber to raise prices. Indian business tycoon Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Jio has signed a deal with billionaire Elon Musk's SpaceX. Jio is set to bring Starlink satellite internet services to India under the deal. India's largest telecom operator will stock Starlink equipment in its retail stores. OpenAI has launched new tools for developers which can enable them to build artificial intelligence startups. The launch came amid growing competition with AI models from Chinese startups. We move to sports and begin with cricket. Reports say that the global cricket body ICC has reminded Pakistan's cricket board of protocol over the absence of its official during the closing ceremony of the Champions Trophy final in Dubai. The controversy erupted when the PCB official was not invited on stage when Champions Trophy silverware was being given to Team India. Star Indian wicketkeeper batter KL Rahul has reportedly turned down the offer to become the new captain of the IPL franchise Delhi Capitals. Reports say that KL Rahul rejected the leadership role by saying that he wants to contribute as a player instead of taking the captaincy role. In football, Premier League table toppers Liverpool crashed out of the Champions League after a loss to PSG. The French champions turned the tie around after a narrow first leg defeat. Ousmane Dembele's lone goal took the game to extra time. There were no further goals in the extra 30-minute period, so the game headed to a shootout. PSG beat Liverpool 4-1 in the penalty shootout to claim the coveted quarter-final spot. Bayern Munich confirmed their place in the Champions League quarter-finals as well with a 2-0 victory against Bayer Leverkusen. After a goalless first half, Harry Kane hit the back of the net in the 52nd minute. Alphonso Davies followed through shortly after to give Bayern Munich a coveted win. Inter Milan beat Feyenoord 2-1 to enter the Champions League quarters. Marcus Thuram struck the opening goal for Inter Milan in the 8th minute. Feyenoord's Jakub Moder converted a penalty before the end of the first half to claim an equaliser, but Inter Milan's Hakan Çalhanoğlu hit the back of the net in the second to seal the game. Manchester United unveiled plans to build what they called the world's greatest football stadium. A proposed 100,000-seater arena costing around $2.6 billion will be built next to United's current home, Old Trafford. The proposed arena will surpass the Wembley as the biggest stadium in the UK. In tennis, women's world number 2, Iga Swiatek, advanced to the Indian Wells quarterfinals. The defending champion beat Karolina Muchova from the Czech Republic in straight sets in the round of 16 match. Swiatek will face China's Qin Wenchang in the quarterfinals. In badminton, women's world number 27, Malvika Bansod, ousted world number 12, Yeo Jia Min from the All England Open Championship. The 23-year-old Indian beat her Singaporean rival 21-13, 10-21, 21-17. Bansod will next face star Japanese shuttler Akane Yamaguchi in their round of 16 match. India's Lakshya Sen also advanced to the round of 16 of the All England Open Championship. Sen beat Taiwan's Su Li Yang 13-21, 21-17 and then 21-15 in their round of 32 clash. The star Indian shuttler will next face defending champion Jonathan Christie in Birmingham. In Formula One, Indian driver Kush Maini secured a slot as test and reserve driver for the Renault-owned Alpine F1 team. The Bengaluru-based driver is the third Indian driver to join an F1 team after Narayan Karthikeyan and Karun Chandok. In entertainment news, supermodel Bella Hadid returned to the runway for Saint Laurent's Fall-Winter 2025-26 collection in Paris. She strutted in a sheer deep blue lace dress with structured shoulders, accessorized with a gold collar necklace and black pumps. The appearance comes 5 months after her last time walking the stage for the Victoria's Secret fashion show. South Korean singer Wi Sung was discovered dead at his Seoul home at the age of 43. Authorities found no signs of foul play but have ordered an autopsy to investigate the cause of the death. Wi Sung was scheduled to perform in a joint concert later this week. His funeral may be postponed as well due to his family's grief. Rock legends Guns N' Roses are set to perform in India for the first time since 2012. They have a concert scheduled for May 17th in Mumbai. The show is part of the band's global tour, which includes stops in South Korea, Japan, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia and Europe. The last time they performed in India was in Gurgaon near the Indian capital Delhi. Disney's upcoming Snow White remake, starring Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, will have a low-key Hollywood premiere on the 15th of March. Unlike typical Disney red carpets, media interviews will be restricted, with only photographers and a house crew covering the event. The scaled-back approach follows ongoing controversies surrounding the film. Netflix has given a green light to a remake of Cujo. It's Stephen King's 1981 horror novel about a mother and son trapped in their car by a rabid dog. The project is still in early development, with no writer, director or cast attached yet. The original 1983 film adaptation was a box office success, and King's works continue to inspire numerous Hollywood adaptations across genres. That's all for this episode of Fast and Factual. Thank you for watching and stay tuned to Firstpost.
Hello and a very warm welcome. I am Gursheen Galit and you're watching